Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. I'm an OCD recovery coach with more than 10 years of experience helping people recover from OCD. Prior to that, I had severe OCD myself that I fully recovered from, and as do my clients. So if you wonder, can you fully recover from OCD? Absolutely, yes, you can. Today, I wanted to talk to you about what OCD recovery will be like in 200, 300 years, and so on. Where are things going in terms of the medical community? Obviously, because I talk to people all around the world in different walks of life, I hear different stories, different treatments, different approaches. I talk to people in medical community a lot, people who are my clients in the medical community as well as others, and I can tell you that from everything I see and hear, it seems like the major shift that's going to happen and what everybody is kind of looking forward to the most is brain stimulation kind of technologies. So we're looking at tech rather than pills, rather than talk therapy or coaching for that matter. So it seems like, because what we talk about all the time here on the show is OCD is a technical issue. Something got stuck in the brain. You made it a big deal by reacting. The brain took it seriously, started to bring you these thoughts on autopilot. So when that happens, there's certain brain centers that get stimulated more than others, and they can see that on the scans that the activity level in certain areas of the brain is much higher than in other areas as compared to the control groups, right? So it's a technical, mechanical, as I say, issue. And for a mechanical issue, you need a mechanical solution, right? So that is something where looks like everything is heading, where maybe few hundred years down the line, instead of doing all of this manual ERP work, you hook up to the machine and the machine does the ERP work for you by stimulating, because that's what you're doing, right? When you are doing ERP, you're engaging certain brain centers while not engaging others, but purposefully. And that's where they're heading with it right now. In terms of the treatments that they have going now, I had quite a few clients try them. They say that they're good. Are they a miracle? No, they're not a miracle right now. But this seems to be where a lot of money is being invested, because they're looking at all kinds of mental issues, such as, anxiety, depression. OCD is kind of rare, it's not 1 in 2 kind of a situation. I think it's actually interesting that when I was going through OCD, it was, I think, 1 in 100 or something like that, or even a little bit more than 100. That was their statistic. And now I think it's 1 in 70, I believe. I might be a little bit off, but it's much less than 100 now. Something I heard somewhere around 1 in 70. But still, it's not like they're going to invest a major amount of money in something that's not that common, but things that are very common, such as anxiety, general anxiety, depression, stress management even, right? All of those things can be also fixed by using these types of technologies. So the mental health tech center is taking over. So so I think that is the way of the future. Of course, like I said, again, I wouldn't, if I were going through OCD recovery right now, would I do some of these technologies that they have available right now? Maybe, maybe not. I don't see anything more spectacular from them, that, in terms of my clients who are doing that versus who are doing ERP. I don't see a major difference, So there are people who are doing ERP are doing good, just the same. So it doesn't seem to be kind of making a giant noticeable, giant difference. And some people said that they didn't feel any really difference too. So it kind of is what it is, but definitely they are working to perfect it, and let me remind you that, back in the day, they used to do brain surgeries with an axe, so we've come a long way from that as well, just then with this, we will also come a long way in a few hundred years. So unfortunately, we don't live in that time, and we still need to do ERP to recover. And I'm telling you guys, I know I sound like a broken record, but ERP works you absolutely can recover. Believe me, I don't necessarily generally, very rarely, I wouldn't say ever, but very rarely do people come to me with an uncomplicated OCD situation. Usually, because nobody will go see a coach or a YouTuber first. They'll go see their doctor, then another doctor, then a specialist, then, you know, another specialist. And then after they've exhausted all of those things, they come to me and we actually recover. But by the time that happens, they're usually in a really bad state. And I'm telling you that people recover from that bad state. I would say, like I said, you know, I mean, OCD is always terrible, but people come to me in really terrible situations and they're recovering. So whatever state you're in right now, it can't be worse than them. So if they can do it, if they can pull themselves out, right? Because that's what they're doing. They're pulling themselves out. Yes, with my help. Yes, with my guidance. Yes, with the accountability. But they're the ones doing it. So you can do this right now. You sitting there listening to this, you can do this. Starting right now, track the time. So right now, how long are you going to be able to go without ruminating? Just track it to the best of your ability. Try to refuse. Get a number down. Okay, now go up from there. So, okay, I say, for example, you did 20 minutes. Go up, see if you can do half hour on the next run, and so on and so forth. This is a mechanical problem. You need to stop giving the impression to the brain that this is important and dangerous. Lower the importance, refuse acting like this is dangerous. You will see it will start to reduce the anxiety. The anxiety goes up based on your reaction. Refuse reaction, the anxiety will go down on its own. But don't check for when the anxiety goes down, because if you keep looking back and thinking, is it gone yet? Is it gone yet? You're actually keeping it alive. So don't do that. Just little by little. Okay, I'm just going to focus on something else. When the thoughts come in, I will disregard. And just continue to do these exercises all day long. It can't, once a day is not good enough, because you need to be continuing to show your brain that this is irrelevant. Because if you're not showing your brain that this is irrelevant, that means you're showing your brain that this is relevant, right? Because if you're not refusing rumination, you're probably ruminating. If you're not refusing Googling, you're probably Googling, right? So it's all hands on deck. You have to do recovery work. I promise you it works, but it only works if you actually do this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back tomorrow. We'll start the chat again. I've been kind of a little bit busy this last week with sessions, but I am back. And I know I say this all the time, but I really am trying to get back into a regular schedule of uploading daily and doing the chat, because I know it's so important. If you would like additional help, there's help on the forum. We're also going to be adding moderators to the forums in probably very foreseeable future, in the next probably few weeks. So all of that is happening. Thank you for listening. Again, all the information is on youhaveocd.com if you want to join the forum, do the sessions, information. We're going to be also, one big thing, there's so much going on. One big thing that I started to do, but again, got caught up with sessions, is giving you a list of natural supplements that work similarly to SSRIs in the way of results, right? Not in the way of, obviously operation is different, but the results that they give you are on par. And again, it's just links to studies. I'm not a doctor, not authorized to give you medical information, blah, 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 as you know, but we will have that available on the website. Just so I find that with OCD, knowledge of how this disorder works, knowledge of why this is happening to me, why am I getting this thought, you know, that's why in my videos I really focus on giving you the details and the nuances of OCD operation. Because if you are, for example, you got a dream about your OCD and you're like, oh, Ali said that people get dreams all the time when they start to refuse reaction in the waking life, so I know that that's, you know, nonsense and I'm disregarding. Versus if you don't have that information, you're like, me having a dream, and in this dream I did this horrible thing, how could that be? You know, so knowledge really is power. And as long as you understand how OCD works, as long as you do the daily work, you will recover. Okay, that is it for today. I will see you tomorrow.